So I have this teaching on the 4 blood moons. I have heard about the blood moon in the last 2 years, but never paid much attention to it. I don't know why, it just didn't fascinate me, or the hype about it did not interest me. Okay, blood moon. I didn't pay much attention to the blood moon, except mere curious look about the blood moon. So, but this year, during the 3rd blood moon, that is during the Passover, I was in the Philippines for a prayer conference. And the last day of the conference was to climax on the blood moon. So they had a big screen, and they showed live on the screen the changing face of the moon when it appears blood red. So, and then I sought the Lord, Lord, please tell me something about the blood moon. Is it really real or just hype? Is it really real? So I sincerely sought the Lord, and I was caught up to heaven. And in heaven, I appeared before the council of the prophets, and they were all discussing about the blood moon. See, my question was, there are 2 good books about the blood moon. One is written by John Hagee, and the other is by Mark Blitz. 2 very good books. And I read them. It gives a lot of technical details about the blood moon, historical details, what happened in the past. But the one thing I couldn't find was, okay, what does the blood moon signifies? What does it represent? So that question was not answered in any of those books. As good as they are, as wonderful as they are, no offense to the great learned brilliance of those 2 wonderful men of God. But the question I had was, okay, what is the significance? Okay, you looked at the past. The blood moon, the 4 blood moons that appeared in the past, that relates to the Jewish feast. 3 times it has appeared. So after it has appeared, then you look at a resulting event that has taken place, and you put 2 and 2 together. Okay, now we can look back at the past. Now what about the future? The 2014, 2015 blood moon. What does it signify? So that was my question. So in this council, I heard them discussing about the consequences that are going to take place after the blood moon appears. 3 consequences. One to Israel. What will happen to Israel? Secondly, to Europe. What's going to happen in Europe? And thirdly, the church. Have you ever wondered why it's called blood moon? Why wasn't it called red moon? Should have been red, isn't it? The color is red, right? So why isn't it called a red moon? Why is it called a blood moon? See, there's a clue there. Every time this has happened, there was a shedding of blood. In 1948, 1967, and this is the 3rd tetrad, 4 blood moons, with a solar eclipse. Not only that, it falls on the Jewish feast days. Never happened before in history. Only 3 times in the last 500 years. And the Bible says, before the great and terrible day of the Lord comes, the sun will be darkened, the moon will turn to blood, and the stars will fall before the great and terrible day of the Lord. The next tetrad, blood moon, will be 100 years later. And there is no another 100 years. You know, several years ago, Brother Neville had an experience with the Lord, and he has shared this many times at this conference. And the Lord told him, the next Jubilee that Israel will celebrate will be her last Jubilee. So he asked the Lord, so when is that Jubilee? So the next Jubilee. And the Lord told him it will be in the year 2017. That is the year, is the Jubilee of the reunification of East and West Jerusalem. So 2017 will be the 50th Golden Jubilee of the reunification of Jerusalem. So the Lord told him that will be the last Jubilee Israel will celebrate. Why? Because the next Jubilee will be 2067. And the Lord said, I will come before that. So you take that revelation from Brother Neville, and then this blood moon will appear another next 100 years, and that 100 years will be 2115. Right? Is my math correct? So 2115. If the Lord's coming will be before 2067, which means we won't see the next blood moon in 2117. Am I right? So this is the last one. And the last one means before the great and terrible day of the Lord. So you want to be ready. That is why our brother kept on emphasizing during this camp meeting that prepare yourselves, consecrate yourself afresh, anew, because this is your last chance. Amen? Your last chance. Your last chance to put all things right in your life. If you miss this last chance, you won't get another last chance. This is your last chance. Because we are in the final lap. In the final lap, you cannot afford to drop the baton down. If you drop the baton down, you lose the race. Right? So you have to hold the baton very tightly, holding on to your faith and running the race.